Welcome to In the Green Room. I'm Kinga.
And I'm Chet.
And this is Martin. Welcome, everybody.
And what are we talking about today, Martin?
You know, we're talking about some cool stuff because I see chocolate chip cookies in front of me. I see some baked bread. I see
Dr.Stu, chef.
Yeah, so
and
I'm excited.
Ali Smeath is here
Welcome,
in
Ali.
studio. Welcome. Say hi.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited.
Dr. Stu, why are you so quiet?
You know, I'm shy.
Yes, so shy.
Are we looking at some homemade bread that you made?
Well, we're looking at some beautiful sourdough homemade bread.
Sourdough's my favorite.
Here's the thing. I was not much of a baker, but since I was doing the pizza, I learned a little baking. And this young lady next to me turned me on to sourdough, and I've been going batshit crazy about it ever since.
There's something so satisfying about just a slice of sourdough with some butter on it. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't bring
tell
butter.
us about, okay, Ali, tell us why you need to have a starter, because I know you gave a starter to
And what is
Dr.
a starter?
Stu.
How
What
do
is
you
a starter?
start a starter?
Good
Take this, Jen.
questions. So this sourdough starter is a living organism. So you have to feed the sourdough starter to keep it alive. So this is essentially like a yeast.
Okay.
And so every day you feed it flour and water, about a half a cup.
Every
each.
day?
Yeah.
And how big of a container?
So we kind of both have large mason jars that we keep it in, but
Like 32 ounce or gallon?
32 ounce.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't really need that. It depends on how much you're going to be using. Because
Okay.
like I don't make sourdough as often as she does, so I will have a sourdough in like a pickle jar
Mm-hmm.
that's about 8 inches high, but I'm only putting in 100 grams of water and 100 grams of flour each day that I leave it out, and maybe like a
Wait,
tablespoon.
if you go on vacation, somebody has to take care of this?
So you can put it in the fridge.
Okay.
And if you don't want to feed it every day, you can put it in the fridge and then take it out when you're ready to bake with it.
Okay.
So the goal is to get it bubbly and light and airy before you bake with it. So if you keep it in the fridge, you have to take it out, feed it, and then it's ready to
Yeah,
Okay.
my rule of thumb has been if I have like 2 inches of starter in the container,
Mm-hmm.
and I feed it and I get it up to 4 inches, that's when it's perfect to use.
Oh, because it expands?
Yes, because it's what it is. It's the natural yeast or the starter
Mm-hmm.
is consuming the sugar and carbohydrate, and the end product is carbon dioxide, and that makes it rise.
Okay, for our listeners that are just listening to the show, they don't know who Ali Smeath is. Who are you? Introduce yourself.
So, hi everyone. I am one of Dr. Stu Chef's daughter's best friends. And so we met in high school, sophomore year. She invited me to a party at his house. I like to tell people that we spent more time at his house than I did at my own house in high school. So that's how we met.
Why is that? Was it fun?
It was fun. It was the party palace, we called it.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, that house has I think it's...
Is that the same house I know?
This is the same house
Yep.
that I've been in for 30 years, and
Okay.
it's not just the house. I built the house, but it became a home.
Mm-hmm.
And the home is what you fill it with, and it's not the artwork or the liquor or the food, it's the people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the best.
Okay, so you would hang out there and did you learn this cooking passion, starting sourdough bread and all that from Dr. Stu, or was that your own self-drive?
No, the other way around. I knew nothing about sourdough bread. This young lady, you tell the story.
Well-
Yeah, the only time you had heard of yeast is that time you came back from Cabo.
Oh, okay. Boom.
So Stu always had the good food in the house, though. He'd always make us, breakfast or dinner whenever we wanted. He always had all the best Trader Joe's snacks, pantry fully stocked, with actually like everything that all of Nikki and Evan's friends preferred. So like he knew our preferences and stocked the pantry accordingly. But no, so this was something that came up a couple years ago. I actually received, my mom got the sourdough starter from a place called the Simple Farm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crowdsourced nonprofit farm church home
Oh, that's kind of cool.
on Cactus.
Local.
And local.
AZ local. Okay.
AZ local. Cactus in the 101. And
Okay.
so she actually, her name's Lila. She runs the farm, her and her husband Michael.
Hmm.
And so she gave my mom and a couple other women the sourdough starter.
Oh, okay.
And her whole mission is to like bring people together, a sense of community, talk about recipes, cook together, make bread together.
How do we hashtag her?
So I did get her hashtag the kitchen movement on
Okay.
the
Oh, okay.
list.
Okay, kitchen movement.
I like that.
But the Simple Farm is their Instagram.
So-
I think you mean
Farm.
you want to tag her, not hashtag her name.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
tag her.
Yeah,
Yeah, Simple Farm.
the Simple Farm. Yep.
Okay.
Boomers and social media.
Okay. Okay.
Classic.
Yes.
So she gave it to my mom. My mom gave it to me probably like a year or two ago. And then I brought some to Stu because I know how much he's loved to cook, especially over the last couple of years. You've gotten even more into everything with all of your multiple pizza ovens.
So is your business, you are now
Wait,
leading
don't
into
speak-
cooking?
Hold on.
I
Let's
have
go
a
back a
que-
minute. His multiple pizza ovens, are
I
these
have
the
a
ones that
question.
are supposedly on loan?
Isn't one of my
Yeah, one of them is in my garage actually.
Okay, there we go. We talked about this.
So during COVID, me and my best friend and roommate Jenna, who's also a best friend of his daughter Nikki, and they actually go even further back, I think, to elementary school
Mhm.
together.
Jenna.
Jenna, and
Oops,
she.
sorry she couldn't make it today. She's in
Yes.
California. She was trying to get back in time.
Oh, so you're doing some kind of catering business?
So she does,
Okay.
and she actually got really into cooking during COVID,
Mhm.
and so we kind of do a lot of the cooking together.
There's a fly in your head.
Uh-oh.
And what's really ironic about her getting into cooking during COVID is I've known her for a long time, and when she was young, she didn't really eat very much at all. Anyway,
Did you get rid
I
of
almost got it.
it? Dominic, how do we get rid of this fly?
No, it's gonna be funny throughout the
No, it's
episode.
gonna-
if
He's
people
part
keep
of the
trying to
crew
kill
now.
it.
I don't
We'll
like
have to
it.
give the
Feed
name.
it
It's gonna be
Food.
funny for the viewers to watch
yeah, feed,
the side
feed-
quest
Call
of us
him
trying
Bob.
to kill the fly.
feed it some bread. That'll
Bob
take
is
care of it.
Bob
Okay.
is part of the show now.
So, what was your major
Yes.
at the University of Arizona? You were a U of A graduate?
Yep, so I was a Wildcat. I graduated from the Eller School of Business.
You did?
I did.
I was texting Stevie Eller this morning.
Really?
Yes.
It was
We're the best of friends.
the best experience.
Okay.
I was a management information systems emphasis in the
Mhm.
business school. And so I moved to San Francisco for a little while and I worked for a software company.
And you work from home, you said.
I work from home. Love working remote. Now I don't have to go into the office.
And I was kind of questioning that before the show because I don't understand that. Like, why would you not
Yeah.
rather be around a bunch of people when you're working? And what is the answer for that?
I think I did it for 4 years and was like, that was enough time for me to meet people and gain connections, have the office perks and benefits. And now, like, I just can kind of manage my own schedule and I love that. So just being from home.
Why do you love that?
I also had to commute about an hour from San Francisco into the suburbs every day and commute
That's
an hour home.
an hour. That's a 2-mile trip.
Yeah, right.
Into
No,
the
yeah.
East Bay,
Yeah.
into Pleasanton. And so I save a lot of commute time just kind of rolling out of bed.
So you enjoy just
Yeah.
choosing everything you
I have a
hours and-
theory about this whole thing about some people like working remote and other people have a hard time with it. And I think it goes back to one of the themes that we're having here today,
It takes a village.
whatever. It takes a village.
Mhm.
And I think one of the things that works in her advantage is she has this beautiful village of friends and family around her. So she doesn't need to get that by going into an office and sitting in a cubicle.
Because when she's not working, she has the
Yeah.
village.
Right. I think that's
Yep.
You
that's
have
big.
Yeah, I think it's different for everybody. There's some that want to get away from a house full of kids, and so they need to go to the office to be able to focus because their house is more chaotic, perhaps.
Yes.
There's some people that need that. They're extroverts. They need to talk to somebody every day.
Well, like some people have said, oh, during COVID or when there's a hard time, why didn't you just do the show from remote?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it like that. Like
Yeah.
we have to do it in person. There's something
Right.
about the
Everybody's
chemistry
different.
and the energy.
Exactly.
Like I have to do the show when we're all together.
Well, it's better
I don't
because
like
we get
Collins.
chocolate chip cookies in person.
Yeah. So who made these?
Yeah. So I made those. with
I'll
the
pass it
sourdough
around.
starter. It's the secret ingredient.
That's-
It makes them fluffy.
All right. I'm gonna take one for me and one for Owen.
Owen.
There you go, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
So it is the sourdough that helps it rise.
Pass it around to Stu and
So it's a
Dominic.
cookie that doesn't normally have yeast in it, but basically,
Is it true that a sourdough cookie or sourdough?
Wow, it really is
gluten-free?
fluffy. It's like almost like cakey,
Kinda
but
like
in
a
a good
scone.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a scone. Yeah, wow.
It's really good.
So is it true that it's not? There's no gluten in sourdough? Because I have a
That's
friend.
not true.
Well, I don't know. I have a
That's
friend that's
a
gluten
Dr.
free.
Stu
we
question.
actually were having this conversation in
I
the
have a
car on the way
friend.
here.
Hold on. I have a friend that's gluten free, Tiffany, and she always says I can have sourdough. because
Okay,
that's
here's the
gluten-free."
thing.
And I'm like, really?
There are people who are truly gluten. You know, there's a disease called celiac sprue disease. They can't have any gluten at all. It will really mess them up. But the majority of other people that are gluten sensitive have it to a certain degree. And it depends on what flour you use and how it's fermented and how long it's fermented as to how much of a reaction they have. And so something like this or sourdough, you know, instead of using a yeast, you use the starter as the yeast. And Ali didn't really explain it yet, but basically yeast is in the air. It's love is in the air. No, sorry, it's the wrong show. Yeast is in the air, and that's what's creating the fermentation of the bread. Is the yeast that's in the air?
Those cookies,
Are
I'm gonna
amazing.
say they're my top 5 chocolate chip cookies, and
Whoa.
chocolate chip cookies are my favorite. So this is high marks. Like
Wow.
they're cooked perfectly. Like
Those are all
Okay,
for
if he
you
eats the
guys.
second one, that means he loves them.
yeah, they're amazing.
My
And they have
boyfriend
a- and
actually
they-
ate 7 yesterday.
I believe it. I know.
And actually, they're made with this. When you take the starter and you have to feed it, you get you have this big jar, and if you go to feed it, you throw off all of it except for like a tablespoon, and you put fresh water and fresh flour in. Well, the stuff you discard is what she uses for that
I would weigh 500 pounds.
cookie.
Okay, wait. How do you stay so slender?
So it's actually healthier for you when you're eating sourdough bread. As
Because of the digestive.
Well, that's
how it
what
digests.
Tiffany says, that it doesn't put it on your stomach.
I don't feel like bloated or, you know, when I eat sourdough bread, it's kind of just like a good carb.
Yeah,
So,
you know, I find, you know, bread. Let's see. I grew up with Wonder Bread.
yeah.
There was nothing wonderful about Wonder Bread. You were there.
My uncle sold it. And so we
Oh, come
had,
on. Wonder
we had
Bread's
loaves
terrible.
and loaves and loaves of it.
No,
That's what I grew up
It's not good.
with.
Yeah, this is way better for you. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what was your major?
So I was an MIS major, which is the tech major in the business school. And so when I graduated, I was in San Francisco for a little while and then came back here to Arizona. So now I live here. During COVID, I decided to move back.
Are you back in the neighborhood?
Not too far.
She doesn't live in the neighborhood, but she knows the code to get in whenever she
Yeah.
Okay, so she's still there.
And so like I will just stop by Stu's house. Like sometime recently I had to come to your house and he just gives me wine and pizza. And
Yeah, what did you come there for?
I don't even remember.
Was it for Nikki's engagement thing?
Something like that.
Oh, so yeah, so we had our theme of It Takes a Village, and these girls that were just together for my daughter's
Bachelorette party.
She's
Yeah,
getting married?
I wasn't
His daughter,
invited.
yeah.
No
So
one told me that. You never.
Well,
You literally
I-
said it on the last show.
Yeah, it's okay.
Memory check.
Chet,
Really?
Chet remembers. You don't have to remember everything.
I remembered your mom was coming in town, but I didn't know that
Yeah, I
your
know.
daughter was
Yeah,
going
He
to
they-
be there.
100% mentioned it.
I
You can
didn't.
go back on the tape and check.
Maybe you can watch the show again or listen to it again.
Well, why didn't we hashtag wedding?
So anyway, so she had these girls, 18 of them,
18.
went up to Coeur d'Alene for the
Oh.
bachelorette party, and the theme was camp. My daughter was a big camper.
All the
Her
neighborhood
her
kids.
husband to be was a big camper, and they
Allie, are you a camper?
So his daughter and I went to camp as counselors together, the same camp that she grew up going to. And so that was kind of our motivation. Me and one other girl that actually went to camp, Sydney, went to camp with her, the maid of honor, as kids. So that's where we kind of came up with the theme.
And when's the wedding?
Did you guys hire a magic mic or did you keep it wholesome?
We kept it wholesome.
I just went to a
Magic
bachelor
mic.
party and we kept it wholesome too. So
It was a lot of fun though. We just
Yeah.
did like relay races and water balloon toss, that kind of stuff. We had a house on the
the
water.
mother of the bride and the mother of the bridesmaid were not happy that they weren't invited, so they went and had a vacation of their own.
Wait, the mother of the bride?
My ex-wife
So they bonded.
and the bridesmaid's mother, who were very close friends, they wanted to go to the bachelorette party, but they were nixed from the bachelorette party.
very understandable though. It's really weird to invite parents to a bachelor or
it's
bachelorette
not.
party. Yeah, it is. That's weird as hell.
Not somebody like me.
Keep
They're
telling yourself.
they're like you. They're fun. So I think they would have been.
Yeah,
They would've
they
been
would have been
fun.
good. Yeah.
It would have
They
been
good.
fun for everybody other than her daughter. So,
Right, that's true.
yeah, but it's her day, so.
Right, it's just like when the kids had the parties at the house. One of the big things that my daughter, the kids were great. They'd come over to me. They'd want me to do shots with them, and my daughter was so, "Oh, you're going to embarrass me." Well, it's my job.
Well, you can be embarrassing. I can
my
understand
job.
that.
Can't help it.
Well, I actually like drinking with both of my parents, but it's more just the energy of a bachelorette party. Like everybody is just trying to focus on the bride or groom to be, and I feel like a parent energy is just a distraction from that because you're not used to partying with a parent. So anybody who sees them is gonna be like, "Oh, let's get them drunk."
Yeah,
Not
I know.
with me.
You
Not
would
with
have been
me.
fun.
Come on.
Well, that's how.
No
She wants
chance
to come to
she's
the
getting
bachelor
in.
party. She wants to come to the bachelorette party. She wants
She
to be
wants
I'll
to
just
go
have to
on-
have it somewhere so
She
trashy
wants to
she
go
would
on the
go.
honeymoon too.
It'll be in Tijuana where she will not go.
I would totally go. I go anywhere.
You'd go to Tijuana?
Yeah.
You need to have
In the green
two.
room
You
in
need to have
Tijuana.
one with your mom, and then one that she
Travel
doesn't know
show.
about. That's what you need to do.
Cheers. That's funny.
Whoa.
So when is this wedding?
I can't tell you. I
I'm not
I
going.
saw the
It's a
movie
secret.
Wedding Crashes. I'm
you
not
know,
going to
yeah,
tell
you
her
know.
when.
That's fair. That's fair.
If
You already
listen-
told her the
I know,
venue.
I know. I told her the.
She's trying to piece it all together.
Well, I told her on the last show. I told her the last show. She listens to the show. She'll see where and when it is, but she forgot.
Oh, who's the king of forgetting?
Who's the?
The king of forgetfulness?
You.
Him.
No, you. We've
forgot.
established
No.
that you've forgotten multiple
She is
things.
the kinga of forgetfulness. That's
She already
different,
forgot
Jared.
that she's
No,
the.
you're right about that.
Fucking fried, are you?
See,
She's
Take
making,
the wine
she's
away.
making fun of my medical conditions and my memory problems, but as I've told my children, I've forgotten more than you ever learned.
There you go.
Oh,
So
I
there.
like that. Oh, that's a good one.
And to be fair, Stu's had a sharper memory so far than you. So that's saying a lot.
I'm going to go back and listen to that show because I don't remember the wedding part.
Because you know what? Here's the thing. When most people are having a conversation, tell me if this is not true, they're thinking about what they're going to say next rather than what the person is speaking to them and saying.
Yes.
Kinga may be more.
Or it may have been when I went to the ladies' room.
It's possible.
Yeah,
See, that's what,
yeah.
that's
I
what
don't
we
remember
learned
that
and,
well.
and taught in improv about, being in the moment and not thinking in your head what you're going to respond, but actually being with the person and listening to what they have to say.
Right.
It's a hard
It's
skill.
a hard thing because
It
we're
is.
all guilty of it. It's
Yeah,
not like
of
I'm.
course.
Okay, so
I'm not
let's talk-
singling out Kinga for that. I mean, I'm guilty
yeah,
of it
we're
as
all
much as the
guilty.
next. But that's just a tendency of people,
Okay, so
especially when they're having.
Cut to the
She's
chase.
doing it right
Let's
now.
talk about relationships. So, are you advocating for your daughter to be like 24/7 with her spouse? Because we had a discussion about relationships, I think.
Well, you heard on the last show, I gave the advice that no, you need to take care of
No,
yourself.
I'm not talking
Ding,
about that.
ding, you forgot another
No, I
thing.
know about that. I know about that. But what I'm saying is we had a show previous after yours that was where Mel thought a husband and wife should always be together, travel together,
No.
never be apart. And,
Absolutely not.
and that's good for him. But Chet disagreed with that. And he was like,
Well, I
you
just
need
said
to
it's
have some
very
freedom.
outdated. Most people
what-
nowadays are much more independent, whether it's because of
Hey,
career,
I was
culture
married.
shift.
I was married in 1989, and when I was married, when I got married, I had about 5 guy trips every year already in place. And even your wife or soon-to-be wife doesn't want you to be a pussy and not show up on your at your guy trips.
No
So
wonder why you got divorced.
I had 5 of them. Okay, so that what's your excuse?
Yeah, you shouldn't throw stones at glass houses, lady.
Yeah, it's brown on both sides
No
of the fence.
wonder why you
here.
got divorced. 5 trips a year.
I had 5 guy trips. I
That's
had
that's it
trips
right there.
I had trips with my wife too. She had girl trips too. She didn't have 5, but she had
Do
a
you think?
couple.
Would you say 5 guy trips if you're married is okay?
No, that's totally normal.
No. Do you think that's okay? Would you do
That's
5 guy
called
trips
having independence. Yeah.
in a year?
Yeah.
Well, they weren't
And
like
Sherry would
we
too.
didn't go away for a month on each trip. A trip could be like
you're
a
talking
weekend.
a few days
or,
here. You're not talking. Yeah, you're not talking
Yeah.
a month.
I didn't go live in with 5 other
Right,
guys.
And he wasn't going to Tijuana, coming back with like chest tattoos. Like he was just
Yeah.
going and having fun with the boys.
Oh, last
He just
show
takes
we
his
told
shirt off,
about the
there's a huge-
tattoos.
The tattoos,
Did
yep.
you heard the show,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, she listened.
I listened.
Okay. Did we talk about all this?
She forgets
Ali
everything
thanks for
apparently.
validating what I
But-
had to say.
To be fair, I already knew when the wedding was, so you
Mhm.
know it was already it's in March.
There you go.
Yeah, she's actually coming to the
Are
wedding.
you in the wedding?
I am. Yep.
Is it a double wedding?
What do you mean?
Are you getting married too?
It's not a double wedding.
You've got a boyfriend.
Have you
I
ever
do.
heard of one of those before?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before. in
A
my
double
entire
wedding.
life.
If you never
For
heard
two?
of that.
Like
People are getting
siblings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of double weddings.
Thank you.
I tried to
Oh my
actually.
gosh, the one time
I
you
actually
agreed.
suggested it
I've heard
to
of shotgun
my next door
weddings.
neighbor,
It's
the one
shocking.
whose son was supposed to be here today.
Don't you think
That the
Stu would
daughter,
have
but
mentioned
she
if
didn't
it
want
was
to
a
share the
double wedding?
spotlight with
Oh
him,
yes,
with Howie.
yes.
Who's gonna cut the bread?
I got
over there?
All right.
Wait, who has the cleanest hands?
Stu, you can cut
How
the cheese.
recently did you wash your hands, Owen?
Like 10 minutes ago when I went to the bathroom.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Oh wait, there's
Pretty
hand
good.
sanitizer right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Hello.
Hit some hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer.
All right.
And what kind of cheese do we have here?
So one of them is just a Boursin cheese.
Does anybody need more wine?
spreadable. And the other one is called Humboldt Fog. Whose is this?
That was Chet's, but it's yours now.
Yeah, I'm good.
Thick
on
ass
that.
bread.
Uh-oh, you're gonna share his germs?
I didn't.
No, he
You
didn't
didn't
touch
touch
it.
it.
Okay.
I'm just not wasting another dirty glass.
How big do you want the slices?
How big do you want the slices?
Pretty big.
Okay.
It's his dinner.
So the bread should still be a little bit warm right now. Now I'll say that the process of making the bread is very interesting, and Ali taught me the process. But what's cool about it is that you make it no machine, all by hand, and then it sits in the refrigerator for a couple of days to
That's what a
ferment
technique is.
slowly.
No, you're doing great.
So the dough
The
sits in the
size,
refrigerator?
teeth.
Well, I did it.
Used
Yeah,
today.
the dough.
Okay.
I actually put it into what's called a Benetton, which is one of those baskets that shapes the bread.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, when we had this conversation
We
about
might
this,
need the surgeon to do this.
Maybe you should rip chunks like a chimp.
it's okay. It's not as
Doing
easy
good.
to do as
I like
as
that.
Trying not to squish it. He's doing great. You
You're
guys
doing
are
great.
So
no
impatient.
pressure.
No pressure at
So,
all.
Allie, can you make more than bread?
Yes, so that's kind of what I was gonna say earlier is after COVID, having a lot of our friends kind of move back here
Mhm.
after, college, we've all lived different places, a good amount of people have moved back.
You graduated from U of A, you worked in San Francisco,
Yep,
you're successful, you're working from home now.
and so being back, one of my favorite things to do is have friends over and cook, or,
You're in your
just-
mid-20s and you're not
Yeah,
cooking.
have dinner parties and just cook together, bake together, and drink wine together. So my roommate Jenna has really kind of made it a profession. So she does custom cakes and
Really?
catering events, like for appetizers or small bites.
Her cakes are unbelievable.
Really?
I mean, One of their friends that's part of their their village had a hillbilly wedding, and they had a little thing at my house, right?
Well, so we decided that when someone in our friend group, our high school friend group is really tight knit, 9 of us girls, and we decided that when someone gets married, we should do a hillbilly wedding type thing, or a thrift store wedding.
Well, how do we say? What's the definition of hillbilly?
A thrift store wedding. So we have to all go buy our outfits at a thrift store.
I love that. That's here we are saving the planet
One
show at a time, and that is
You're
doing
upcycling.
So Stu was like, "Yeah, you could do it
Stu,
at my
incoming
house."
slice.
Incoming
'Cause
slides.
seriously, it makes no sense that somebody would spend $1,000 on a dress
Well, we did
and get
both.
something brand new.
Give me a big one.
We
on
did
it.
the big
You
wedding,
want the
but
big
we
one?
also
Give me a
did
big papa. Oh yeah.
The big
thrift
and
store.
the thrift. I
Wow,
love it.
this is gonna work out.
Wow.
And
You're chilling.
Uh-oh.
Boom.
Stu's spilling over.
It's okay.
so Stu
It's waterproof.
said we could do it at his house,
Waterproof.
Waterproof.
and he
The
made
hillbilly wedding or the formal one?
the thrift store wedding. And
Okay.
Stu, what did you make us?
I did something for that.
Yeah,
I know. I
Oh, you
Crab-
don't remember?
it was either crab or
Uh-oh.
lobster.
He doesn't remember.
I don't remember, but I probably
He's
made something.
thinking
It
after
was
you.
crab or lobster.
Oh, you're talking about the
Lobster.
Oh yeah, we brought in lobster from Maine, and we made, was it lobster tails? We brought in lobster tails from Maine, and we made a whole bunch of lobsters. Yeah, because
And one of the best things you can make with sourdough are lobster rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, you can make really good lobster rolls with sourdough. And then like quintessential ingredient for patty melts. A good patty melt, you have to use sourdough.
I want you to try this Humboldt cheese. I'll pass this right. It's so good.
Clean your hands first, please.
I got the clean hands. I got it. I'm making more
So-
choices too.
There's a place locally that I think we talked about last time called Angie's Lobster,
Oh yeah, that place is great.
Have
we
you
just,
been there
we
yet?
just tried it. Yes.
and they just started doing something which really is going to change the game, because Angie's Lobster has about 4 or 5 locations, and for $10 you get a lobster roll, a drink, and French fries.
And it's delicious.
And it's delicious. And apparently what they're doing is they're getting lobster in Maine from a specific pier that are like damaged lobster, so you can mixture a lobster that only has 1 claw, or that only has a couple of the legs on it. So they can't sell these lobsters to restaurants. That's
So
a whole
sick
lobster.
lobsters? I don't know if I want one of those.
Lobsters with AIDS, yes. You heard
No,
it
no,
first.
there's
No,
nothing wrong
lobsters
with
that have
lobster.
just been they have a process, and sometimes the lobsters get damaged. That's all.
Right. So and now not only do you get the lobster roll here now they're offering, they'll ship to you frozen for, it's like $50 for a pound of lobster meat, and their lobster meat is knuckle, claw, and tail,
Mm-hmm. It's delicious.
and it's really good stuff.
Oh, where's
to know.
mine?
I thought I gave you one.
No. But I want a small piece of bread, small, and a small piece of cheese, small.
The Humboldt cheese is
But clean your hands
so
first.
good.
You just touched the
Try
door.
this Humboldt.
And she doesn't have any. Allie, she needs some. Allie wants cheese.
I thought I passed you one. My bad.
No, you're fine.
And what's the other
Captain
cheese
Bowen
that you
is
brought in?
slacking on the bread.
sorry?
What's the other cheese that you
That's
brought
a
in?
That's
tough
just
job.
both
Dominic,
sides.
can you have one?
It's a little easier for people who
Tough job.
are picky about what they eat. Not me. Humboldt has a little more.
Oh, you're
zing
so
to it.
picky. That's why you cook.
Do you want
I'm gonna
cheese?
Try to. Yes.
Which
I
one?
did. The better cheese.
Which
The
one?
Humboldt.
Humboldt.
I'm
What's
really
the
not
other one?
picky.
Is the other one brie?
The other one is,
I want the brie.
it's not brie. The other one
We'll
is
do half and half.
boursin.
One half and half.
Yes.
I want to do the same too, Owen Bowen.
I got you.
Boursin is just an herb cheese like
I love
aloe,
it.
Mm-hmm.
but the Humboldt is.
It's outstanding.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Here we go. I'll tell you. So this is your bread and your recipe for your starter.
This is her starter and her lessons that made me make my bread.
Wow.
So every time you feed
Wow.
your starter, you need to get rid of some. So you start with about 1/4 of a cup of starter, and then you feed it. So you just
You
discard.
said a cup of water, cup of flour?
So a 1/4 cup of starter and then a 1/2 cup flour.
Mm-hmm.
And a
I
1/2
do it
cup
by
of-
weight. I do
You just
100
weigh.
grams and 100 grams.
Okay, so just an even amount.
And when you discard it, like you could just throw it in the trash, throw it down the sink. Otherwise, you can give it to someone.
Mm.
So that's kind of how this all started. Was you can give someone the discard sourdough starter, and then they can feed it, and they can.
I've
Creative.
given it to 5 other people,
Mm-hmm.
and each one, when I give it to them, I put it on a group text that goes back to her so she sees her children. Because
Really?
it's
So
all
we-
about the family.
Paying it forward.
We have
The
about
village.
20 people that we know of that we're tracking that we've expanded
Mm-hmm.
sourdough to. So
Wow. Okay, so
fun.
beyond bread, what else do you make, Ali?
Cookie.
I'm more of a baker, so I like to do the sweets.
Mm-hmm. Well, those
Because
cookies.
she's so sweet to begin with.
So what other sweets do you really like to make?
Mm.
Trying to think what else I've made with the sourdough starter too. Like you can do pancakes, you can do muffins, cook different kinds of cookies, and you're just essentially using this to make it fluffier.
Mm-hmm.
Muffins.
So are you replacing something, or you're just throwing a little bit of this in, or is like you have to change the recipe if you're throwing a starter in?
So it is usually a different recipe than you would use.
Well, what you could do is you can replace the yeast that would go into a regular recipe with sourdough if that's what you want. Or you could just put sourdough into something else and use it for the flavor.
Okay.
You can use starter for the you could put it into a sauce almost, you know, without. I mean, that's all you're doing is if you want just some of the flavor from it.
Gotcha.
I just realized how amazing Stu's shirt is. Give me a cigar to change the things I can, and scotch to accept those I cannot. I like that.
Is that your
Wait,
quote?
Chad, look at the cigar pictures. Those things go.
Oh yeah, I don't think you've seen the cigar pictures. These are fantastic.
Okay, this bread and cheese is amazing.
Well,
I
the
could live
first
off
time
of it.
that I had
Yeah.
this
I could
bread
live
was
off
when
of
she
cookies.
showed up at my house and gave me one. And then
Trying to
gave
be
me the
good.
I said, I gotta learn how to do this. Because then it was like, I'll bring you a bread. And I waited, and I waited, I waited. And then she brought me a bread. And then I said, okay. I had to wait too long, so teach me. It's like a fish, right? You know,
Yes. Yep.
give a man, where am I going with this?
I actually like the light cheese more.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
The what? The Humboldt Fog or
Or
the
the other one. What was it called again?
Boursin?
Boursin. Okay, yeah. I wanted
Boursin is very herb. It's just an herb.
It's very light.
It's,
It's
yeah,
almost
it's
like a
very
cream cheese.
light. Like
Is that
it
French?
goes very
The
well. with
Humboldt
soda.
has a little more
punch to
punch to it. Yeah.
They're both very good, but I personally prefer the Boursin.
But see, I didn't want to bring any cheese at all because I wanted the bread to be the star. But
And then you
Someone
You've got to have cheese with it.
someone convinced me that I needed to do that.
Well, it's delicious.
I can't remember who it was.
I have no idea.
Kinga.
I have no idea. So, do you see yourself going like above? Like you're making bread now, desserts. Do you see yourself like improving on
So
that?
I think just
She's like me. She does it for fun now. She's not doing it for.
I mean, she's in her early
Yeah.
20s, so like, do you see yourself like going to the restaurant level next?
I really pushed my roommate and best friend Jenna to go that route, who we were talking about because she was a picky eater, and then all of a sudden she discovered how much she loves food. So I've been really pushing her because she's so great at like creating recipes and modifying recipes, and at a large scale too. As I mentioned, she does catering. So I like.
So we have
just-
to have her on next.
Yes, I like just watching her and supporting her. And so she'll do events where she does someone's entire countertop full of cheese and meats and crackers, like a whole charcuterie spread.
And that picture was her
Yeah,
display. Okay.
and I love to just go help out and sample. And I just do it for fun. But I do have to credit, I feel like Stu, our community, our friends, our families have all been really into cooking together, eating together. drinking
Well, how many
together.
homes are in
So
that
that's
community?
kind of how it all got
No, it's
started.
not. It's not the neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
This is not the neighborhood. Only, I would say, only a couple people actually live in the physical neighborhood that you're talking about. This is the neighborhood of the
The friends.
friends.
Mhm.
Yeah, and literally, like she said, that our house was the party house. Well, it was absolutely the party house from the time that they were in junior high, and as parents, we would have parties there for our adults.
Well, Chet will probably criticize me right now, but I think our house was the party house.
Yeah, it was one of them. There was a few places that had parties.
Our house was the main house.
Ours was the one where you could go if you wanted to have it chaperoned. Have the parents trying to hang out.
Yeah.
And if we wanted to
Yeah.
go somewhere,
I
and
don't
even
know how-
That is
genius
true.
would go.
I don't know
also.
how good a chaperone. Did I tell the story about my daughter and having one of the parties?
Stu's just out
Small
smoking
piece of bread with
cigars.
more
Just
cheese.
what the
Which
hell's
one?
happening out there?
With
No,
cheese.
no, no.
But that's all
So
beef.
we were. What year was that party? It was. You said it was junior year in high school, and we were having a party for the kids. Now I'm sure there was a little drinking going on, but
Oh, you allowed it.
we'd rather have them do it at our house. And I'll tell you something. This generation, unlike our generation, is way more responsible.
Yes.
No drinking and driving. You know.
And you made us leave our keys with
Yeah,
you guys.
we collected the keys when
Oh,
they
yeah.
came to the party.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so at this party, I was going to go to bed, and I always felt pretty comfortable. I would go check around the house, and I would say, oh, I've had enough, I'm going to go to bed. And I walk into my daughter's room, and she's laying on the bed, and she's a little tired, it looks like, but I didn't really think too much. You know, she wasn't drunk or anything like that. I come in there to say goodnight to her, and I look at her, and then I just, for some reason, I decided to walk over to the closet and open up the closet door.
Just to check.
And who's in the closet? Jonah, who happens to be her boyfriend at the time. I think it was very early in their boyfriend-girlfriend status, and now happens to be, ironically, her fiance. And I told him, you could come out of the closet now. And as I said, you could come out of the closet. I said, you know, this is going to be the Jonah coming out of the closet story. No.
Forevermore.
And then fast forward to about a year ago, when he came to me and asked me for permission to marry my daughter, I said, you do realize that story is going to be told at your wedding.
Yes, I figured.
So,
I love it.
But they
That's
actually
cute.
they dated in high school
Mhm.
and then broke up and went to college, kind of explored, did their own thing. He went to U of A, she went to San Diego State, and then they got back together and now they're getting married. So it was kind of
that's
a cool.
lovely.
Oh.
Nice.
So how many
Cool,
years
that's
together
lovely.
and how many years apart?
well, they were together probably 2 years in high school. They went to the prom together. I remember him coming, decorating the house for the prom invitation. And then they broke up for college. And I would say maybe a year or two after college, they were still apart. And then they got back together. So I don't know how
Yeah.
many years
I
they've been.
think that sounds right.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
He's a great guy.
So where did they rekindle? Back at the high school reunion or where?
I don't know where they saw each other. I don't think they had lost contact with each other, to be honest with you. I
Yeah,
don't know.
they always were still friends.
Mhm.
And then I think
I think it was probably the village.
Mm-hmm.
The village got
the
it back together.
gatherings.
the
that you-
community
yeah.
brought them back
Yeah, yeah.
together. Yeah, he's a
Takes
really
a
good
village.
guy. We like him.
So 2 years in high school, totally apart from college, and now they're back and they're getting married.
Yep.
Okay.
That's sweet.
So Chet could marry somebody he was dating before.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna go that route.
Do you
But
have any high school
not that I'm interested
girlfriends
in.
you might
no.
get back with?
No.
He's totally single right now.
Yeah. Bad suggestion. So.
Okay. So
Are you totally sure he's not in the closet anymore?
Are you coming out of the closet now for
No,
us?
I was asking.
I'm just asking.
I was asking about that experience.
I'm not judging. I'm just asking.
No, I was saying, do you think he's still in the closet?
That was good.
I don't ever hide in closets. I would just stay on the bed.
Well, he did.
I'm pretty bold.
I think years later, when they were together, there was a time I think I came into the room and they weren't
Chet
married.
saying he would never have. Hit
I think
the
I
closet.
choked him when he was in the bed, with my daughter's bed.
Oh, so he had a reason to get in the closet. He was.
But no, this was years
wasn't
later.
trying to
This was
get
years
UFC
later.
choked
They,
again.
they were adults at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. Sort
Was
of.
it a playful choke or like a?
Yes, it
I'm
was a
trying to
playful-
stop the air from
It was-
reaching your lungs.
It was a playful joke.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm not strong enough to hurt anyone. Oh wait! We came here. We forgot to talk about my
Oh, the game.
the game.
Oh, the game. Okay.
We still have time.
Are we gonna play it?
How much
So
time?
Dominic,
we
Well,
have?
we're gonna.
15 minutes.
6 minutes?
15.
15.
How much time we have?
15 minutes.
15
Okay,
minutes.
Okay, we're not going to play the game, but Allie's going to explain it better than I can. Just to let you know, so this game was created by my son and my next door neighbor's son, who,
Your
who
friend?
grew up together, who
Yeah.
I knew since the day they were both born.
Right.
And they did it right before COVID. And what's interesting is these are two boys that were into all the online games and the
Sure.
headsets and playing everything, but they wanted to come up with a trivia game themselves that people could play in person, and they came up with this game. So the first thing they did is they had a what do we call the funding thing mechanism?
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. They did a Kickstarter for $10,000. Did it within the first.
Kickstarter?
Yeah, they did it. They raised $10,000 within the first day, and then they had it on Amazon for a while. They actually sold the licensing for it to be translated into a couple other languages. I think Russian and Chinese, and so right now I don't know that they're available anymore, but you have a copy.
What do you think of the game, Allie?
So I love trivia. I'm not
Okay.
the best, but I love playing.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun because basically the premise of the game, it's called Trivia Trolls. There's little trolls on every card.
Mm-hmm.
The premise of the game is that you're going to ask trivia questions, but then the opposing team can also throw trolls, traps, and trenches at you while you're playing. So like kind of gives a twist to the game. So for example, okay, so if the opposing team, let's say you guys are the opposing team.
Okay.
and
Okay, let's
we'll
say
be
it's
on
you
it.
guys against us,
Okay.
or us three against you three.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
So-
three against us three.
So you guys could tell us that, we have to,
We've got Dominic too.
you play a troll card, and I'm going to make you be the troll, Stu. So the player reading the clue must do so in their best Scooby-Doo voice.
All right.
So
Raggy.
then we
What's
have...
Scooby Doo? I don't remember Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
So then you have a set of questions, and you guys get to choose easy, medium, or hard
Easy.
Yeah, let's start
in
with
terms
easy.
of skill level. Okay.
Yeah.
So Stu, you have to do the number one.
In your best Scooby-Doo.
In your best
I like
Scooby-Doo.
this game already.
This alcoholic seltzer includes flavors I can't do, Scooby, such as black cherry, ruby grapefruit, natural lime, raspberry, and pure.
What's the question?
That was a terrible Scooby-Doo.
He's giving you the clue, and you guys have to guess what it
You're
is.
like, "Ruh-roh, right?"
Woo! This alcoholic seltzer is cool.
That's
I
better.
can't do-
That's
That's
better.
better. I can't do. I didn't watch
Debatable.
Scooby.
Have Chet do it. Check it
Debatable.
out.
Wait,
No.
okay, check.
No, I
Check
love
it.
hearing
Read the
you
first
attempt.
one.
No,
Yeah.
you.
I have an
You
idea,
keep
Chet.
going.
Chet, you do this one. The player reading the clue must read without every word containing the letter S.
So
Okay,
this
so a new
contains-
question.
Oh, we want to do the same one or a different one?
Well, did you guys even try to answer that?
No, we're starting with a new one. We don't
No,
understand.
try to answer it.
We don't even know
You have
what
the
he said.
retention skills of a grape. Come on.
Yes. Yes. We got.
I got the answer.
The alcoholic blank includes flavors such as black cherry, ruby grapefruit, natural lime, raspberry, and pure.
Scooby Doo.
I would say White Claw.
Yeah, bingo. 1 point for Mark.
So you get
Nailed
1
it.
point for that.
All
Now,
right.
it's 1 point, 2 points, and 3 points, and the game is played to 11.
Yep.
But if you go over 11, you go back to 0. So you have to be strategic about how many.
Very
players.
fun. That's awesome.
Alright, that sounds like fun.
And so,
So when I sponsored this thing, I got to choose a troll, and so the troll I came up with was you have to read the clue with as if you had a cigar in your mouth when you're reading it. So I would read the question, and it would look something like, I gotta put my glasses on. This is way too much work for me. With video games came franchise featuring characters such as Luigi, Bowser, and Peach. Because I had to do it as if I had a cigar in my mouth.
Okay.
And I don't
What
know.
is that?
It made it a little harder, didn't it?
I have
Cigar in your mouth
or
or something else?
Let's not go to your proclivity.
You put 2 fingers in. A cigar's as thick as 1 finger, right?
Well, it depends
Not
on
the ones that he smokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Cubans, huh?
That's right. Those big
We're
Cubans.
gonna do the cigar show next. Don't worry.
That's a fun game, though. I literally want to buy a copy, but you said it's not being
No, he
sold
brought us a
anymore,
copy.
right?
I gave you a
Yeah.
copy. I have 2
Very cool.
copies here. And
I meant more for like the listeners. If anybody wanted to buy one, they
Yeah,
can.
How do they
right?
find it?
out
How
of
do they
print.
find it? Don't be negative. How do we find it?
I don't think it's in print right
No.
now.
How do we find it?
It's not being negative. It's just a fact.
No.
Don't speak
I,
facts.
I think what happens is someone has to, find me on Dr.Stu Chef on
Oh,
and
you went
beg,
through him.
and we can do something, and I can work something out because
Ellie?
I have a couple of copies still
How do
left.
we find this game?
so I'm looking it up on Amazon to see. if
It's
still
I don't think
alive.
you'll find it on
It's
that.
very fun though. I'm excited to play with
What's
friends.
triviatrolls.com? Is the website still live? Do you know?
It may be.
How do we find it? How do we find it?
We just said
TriviaTrolls.com.
But I mean-
part of that didn't you understand?
No, but Dr. Stu said everybody has to contact him.
At Trivia Trolls on
Wait, let's
Facebook,
pull one more card, 'cause
Twitter,
that was fun.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do another card.
Let's have you guys do one.
Yeah.
As a team. Okay.
No, let's have Chet do it. I think Chet makes it
No,
fun.
Okay.
we have a chance to score a point.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
scored a point.
All right.
Yeah, no.
That's how a fucking
I'll
You'll
game
do it?
works.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
I'm
do
not gonna look.
Pick a science question. I'm better at those than I am at the.
Chet, let's let Chet do one.
All right.
At least.
No, we get a chance to answer now.
Oh, Jimmy.
Uh-oh.
Okay. 1, 2, or 3. Easy, medium, or hard.
Medium. We'll go medium so we have a chance to beat you.
Okay. Nachos and pizza and cheese and meat crackers, like varieties, include snacks and food of brand Kids This.
Jesus.
Can we get a repeat?
What's the question?
Close.
I didn't get the
All
question.
right.
Gotta be the
So-
troll.
I'm reading it backwards. That's
Oh,
my,
shit.
When I'm
That makes
this
it so
player
much harder.
reading a clue must read it in reverse. Start with the last word and end with the first
That makes
word.
it so much
It says,
harder.
yeah, I'm only supposed to read the clue once, but I'm going to do it
I
again.
get it.
So
This
I'm
is
reading it backwards.
for them. This is not for you.
Nachos and pizza, cheese and meat crackers, like varieties, include snacks and food of brands Kids
got it.
This. Got
Is it
it?
Nabisco?
Lunchables.
Yes, that
What was
is
the answer?
correct.
Lunchables.
Oh, yeah. All right, we have 2
What
points.
was the answer?
Nice.
Lunchables.
Very nice. It was
Lunchables.
Yes,
Yeah,
She helped write this.
Lunchables were after my time. I guess I probably had my kids eat it.
My kids would never eat Lunchables, so I would never know that
You
answer.
probably made Lunchables.
No, my kids never ate anything fake. Chet does everything 5-star with food. You don't understand. He's such a food snob. You don't even understand where he's coming from. Okay. Fake,
I've had to
nothing
eat
fake.
an Uncrustable for lunch.
No.
Yeah, I bought a big
Every
bottle of
night.
wine. Are we making a dent in it?
What are we making a dent?
Next,
Oh,
it's like a
yeah,
mega
I got
pint.
more. You need
Ready?
more?
Mega pints
Okay,
of
yeah.
wine.
All right.
He's a food snob.
Because I'm not taking anything home.
Do you
Kind of
understand?
anybody. He didn't go to Burning Man because he said there's no food there.
Okay.
No, you have to bring your own.
No, my daughter's going.
Try it without the
He
troll.
said-
Have you guys
Okay,
been
yeah.
to Burning Man?
Yeah, there's another
Wait, do you guys want the
opening for
easy,
him.
medium, or
I guess-
hard?
There's another
We're
opening for him.
gonna
to
do
use-
the questions without the
Six
We're
troll.
gonna
Yeah.
go to the hardest question
Because
ever.
some of them make it really hard to
So,
understand.
yeah, I
This
was
is
like,
the
I don't
hardest
even know
question
how
ever.
I do this. Okay, so the hard question is, this DNA molecule is normally visible under a light microscope when a cell is undergoing the metaphase of cell division.
What is that, Martin?
Just start again.
This DNA molecule is normally visible under a light microscope when a cell is undergoing the metaphase of cell division? I actually knew this one without looking at the answer, but
No, you didn't.
I did.
What is it?
Like
Chromosome.
chromosome. Got it.
Can you give us another question?
Okay, here.
Okay.
Chad is very smart.
The hard one again. The female singer was born in March 28th, 1986 in Yonkers, New York, with her given surname Germanata. I would not know this one, admittedly. Yeah.
Germanata?
Yeah.
Gwen Stefani.
No, Gwen Stefani's older, I think. 1986, so she's only 10 years older than
Celine
me.
Dion.
No, she's older.
Probably, what's her name? The woman with one name who looks really old right now.
Madonna.
Ariana Grande.
Madonna.
She's been, okay, I'll give you a hint. She's been acting a lot recently.
She's a singer who's been acting.
Ooh.
Oh, the one who did the last remake of
Star is Born.
yeah, Star is Born.
Yeah.
Lady
Barbra
Gaga.
Streisand.
Yeah,
Lady
yeah.
Gaga.
Yeah.
The German is
Gaga.
throwing me off.
Yeah, that's her real last name apparently, Germanata.
Well, that makes a lot
Oh,
of
Lady
sense.
Gaga.
So what's
But yeah,
really,
they did not get the point.
Okay, so what's really cool
We
is
win.
that the kids came up with all these questions themselves. They researched
4 minutes.
and they divided, like Austin, my
Let's do
son's
another
best
question.
friend, was good with all the sports stuff, so he did a lot of the sports.
Let's go with
And
another
Evan
question.
did a lot
You
of
want a
the
certain
science
category?
questions.
Well, yes, but I also love how they made it with a varying difficulty level because
Mm-hmm.
that makes it really approachable for if you're like playing strategy wise and you need points bad, you can go for easy questions versus like if you need to come back, you can go for the hard questions. So I really like that part of the game.
And
There's
Ali's
Yeah.
played it a number of times, more than I have.
So she knows all
Oh
the
wait,
answers.
it's your guys' turn to ask us a question. We get a chance for more points.
All
I
right.
did not look.
All right.
You don't
Do I
have to
have
do the
a-
troll. You don't have to
No,
do
I
the
want
troll.
the troll. Bring it
Okay.
on.
Oh.
Give me a troll, please.
Let's do it.
I'm not.
Alright.
I'm not
wants the
messing
troll.
No,
around.
troll. You don't need a troll.
You've got the troll over there.
We don't want the
Last
troll.
time it gave him an advantage. He was reading a fucking question back.
All right, here we go. This is hilarious.
Okay, here we go.
All
here we
right.
go.
Geography, hard, medium.
We'll go medium again.
All right.
Medium.
This is the northmost Great Lakes and is bordered by both United States and Canada.
See, I don't know the Great Lakes, but it's whichever
Lake
one.
Michigan?
They're close.
Well, there's 25.
It's
of
not
them.
Lake Inferior.
Superior.
Superior.
There we go.
Yeah.
Did you say lakes
All right.
inferior?
No.
And so this is the player must sing the clue to the melody of Mary Had a Little Lamb.
That's great.
Nice.
Minus 1 point if the player doesn't know the melody.
Well, you got it. You got it. So
And then I have one for entertainment, but I need another troll.
Okay.
We'll give you guys another chance. How many
Run
minutes
this
we
in.
got?
You like the
Use
trolls.
real quick.
All right, 3
We
minutes.
have
All right.
we have 3 minutes.
I have to go.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
All right.
Gotta go,
All
gotta
right,
go.
g'day, mate. This one's I reading in Australian accent. So Anna, it's entertainment. You want easy, medium, or hard?
Hard.
All right then. Raymond DeJonda is the musical composer for all seasons of this HBO show.
I couldn't even understand the question.
Ramin Djawadi is the musical composer for all of the seasons of this HBO show, mate. That's a pretty good one, huh?
I love the accent. I just don't
It's
know
actually,
what the
the
It
accent's
was
really
Australian,
You know the
right?
answer,
I'm
was it?
doing all right. You're doing all right with the
Succession?
Australian. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a little older than that, though.
HBO. What's on HBO, Stu?
No, it's not on anymore. And it had a terrible ending. Everyone hated the ending.
Okay, tell us the
Game of
answer.
Thrones.
I wanna know the
Yeah,
answer.
there we go. There we
Whoa,
go.
wow.
We win!
You got that?
coming in clutch.
Oh, no way. Okay, so how does everybody find this game?
All right, we already said we'd
Honestly-
1 minute.
trivia
Okay, we're here
trolls
saving the
done.
planet.
One
Show at a time, bringing joy and fun
That's
to
right.
the planet.
Okay,
And
so
here's Chet back. Oh, no, we have 30 seconds. Chet,
1
in
minute.
closing, what can you say to the world about how fun this game is?
Well, the game's very fun.
The game was awesome.
Very complex
Chocolate chip
question to
cookies.
answer.
okay,
Thank you for that.
so
Set me up.
here's how I'm going to be able to. Someone's going to be able to get a game.
Dominic,
Yes.
is it over?
The-
How much time do we have?
Text
just
Evan
have
Let him
Cohen.
go. Let him go.
Contact me. Show me that you did something great for the world to make the world a better place, and I will send you a copy.
Oh, there
I
you
love
go.
that.
Love
Woo!
it.
But I want it
Saving the planet.
documented.
One show at a time. Woo!
Yes, it's more fun. Don't forget, inthegreenroom.green.
Do chatty
Goodbye.
music.